When the Phone Rings is my next K-drama watch. I'm telling you, for first impressions, this episode was completely balls to the wall, just crazy, and I can't wait to talk about it with you in this episode. Hi, I'm Monique. I am the host of Off by Purple Heart podcast, where I talk to you about K-dramas, C-dramas, BTS, and so much more. It's been a really long time since I've been excited to watch a K-drama. I really haven't been dwelling as much into the more thriller end of K-dramas. I've been mainly sticking to romance dramas, but this one is going to be a lot of fun because it is a thriller / romance, and it has marriage and convenience in it. And it is super engaging. The first episode, for first impressions, it was really crazy. I was actually very confused watching it, but it puts itself together like a mystery, and it's a puzzle piece that the audience has to work out. We don't get much information right off the bat. We're kind of thrown into like a future scene that's been taken out of context, and basically the rest of the episodes like the anatomy of the relationship between the two leads and how we get to this point. So we have the male lead, who is a rising politician, very cold, very aloof, but still has an incredibly sexy and sensual vibe to him. And part of his work history, he's a very decorated politician and also has many years of training as a hostage negotiator, which will definitely become more and more relevant as the story progresses. We also have the female lead, and she is a speech interpreter and is also mute. And the show referred to it as selective mutism. So there was a traumatic event that happened to her when she was very young, and she hasn't been able to basically verbalize any of her speech since. So she communicates via sign language, which also I think will be a very interesting, relevant piece going forward in the show. So the basic setup for the show is that the two of them are married, but it's definitely a marriage of convenience. The male lead was supposed to be married to the female lead's sister, and yet mysteriously her sister disappeared the day before they were actually supposed to get married. And the female lead was sent in very last minute to basically cover for this, and she was married off instead and is considered to be a hostage in this marriage. So she is the stand-in and the placeholder while her sister has like disappeared off the face of the earth. And they've been locked into this very loveless marriage. By public appearances, they look like the perfect couple. The very rare occasions that she's out and about with him, but for the most part, he keeps it very, very close to the chest and very low key. So there's a lot of mystery surrounding their relationship, and it's that way for a reason. Everything kind of changes, which kind of leads us into the first episode, because the female lead ends up getting kidnapped, and it is probably one of the most tense, thrilling 40 minutes that I have witnessed, seeing the female lead get kidnapped and the entire exchange between her and the kidnapper and her husband, who finds out later in the episode what has happened. And she is fighting for her life, and it almost seemingly seems like her husband does not give a shit. And then the episode ends on one hell of a twist. I mean, the twist is so good that it has fully locked me in and has made me extremely excited for what else the show can pull out of its butt. Because I'm telling you, it was really balls to the wall. Everything from the eerie music that is used throughout the episode, a lot of the directing of the episode, it was just something that you constantly felt like you're on tenterhooks. It is one hell of a fire banger first episode to introduce us into this world and the characters. And I have to say that the leads have great chemistry already. And I love it. Especially the male lead. I love how he is just this broody man. Like, he's a man, you know what I mean? Like a man. His voice is so sexy. He's sexy. I just love him. And the female lead too, I love her face. I love how expressive she is, and when she is using sign language, and how she is so clear in her communication skills. And obviously that is part of her job because she is an interpreter, and she, she works at a very famous news station. She also does like a lot of court cases where she acts as interpreter as well, and like via liaison. But she's incredibly expressive, and even if you are not very familiar with sign language, you know exactly what the hell she's expressing. The actress is really good. The two of them together are fire, and there's so much mystery built into the first episode. It was just an exciting ride, and I haven't been engaged like that in a very long time, so it made me really happy, especially because I haven't really been happy with a lot of K-dramas this year, but there have been a select few that I've enjoyed, but this one gave me really good feels. I feel like if you're into Marry My Husband or any of those, popcorn, like super easy to binge like K-drama shows that have that little thriller edge to it, this would be like right up your alley. And it gave me very similar vibes to how I felt watching Marry My Husband in the first episode. It was just very exciting, and it just locks you in really quickly. And I believe that just like Marry My Husband, this show is based off a manhwa, so it's gonna have a lot more twists and turns. There's 2 episodes out, and I gotta say episode 2 was great. It also has a chock full of mystery in it as well, and you definitely get to see the leads flex their chemistry even more so. I don't want to get too much into episode 2 because, as I said, episode 1 leaves off on an amazing cliffhanger and an amazing twist, and episode 2 picks up right from where that big twist comes in, so it's kind of hard to discuss episode 2 without giving out a crap ton of spoilers. But I can tell you the first 2 episodes locked me in such a great way, and I know it's going to be an awesome ride. So I'm going to say, for first impressions, this is like the show right now. There's The Trunk that Gong Yoo is starring in, that's also going to be coming out very soon. That's also going to be a thriller. So I'm telling you, December is going to be fire for K-dramas with those 2. So I have this one, and I'm definitely looking forward to The Trunk as well. And I'm just going to be eating really well. So let me know your thoughts. If you're watching the video form of this podcast, have you heard of this show? Have you watched it? What are your thoughts? I thought it was pretty amazing, and I think it gave off a really amazing first impressions. If you're listening via Spotify or Apple Podcasts, let me know your thoughts as well on those platforms. I'm really excited for this show, and I really hope that it picks up more traction and more people are talking about it, because it was that damn good. It was just a really good, fun popcorn thriller. I feel excited watching it. It was engaging. It was just really, really strong, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of that sexy ass male lead. Anyways, I'm going to leave it at that for this episode. Until the next one. Bye.